Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Ian, and welcome to a new season of Coaster Kings. In this special update, I'll be discussing my visit to Kentucky Kingdom for the grand opening of the Vekoma suspended family coaster, Flying Fox. Kentucky Kingdom has always been a bit of an oddball in the American theme park landscape. It's located in a relatively small market of Louisville, Kentucky, and it's sandwiched between two highly successful regional parks, Kings Island and Holiday World, and both of those parks actively market themselves in the Louisville market. Kentucky Kingdom has always found a way to punch above its weight class with both attendance and the quality of attractions. In the mid-1990s, it was actually touted as the fastest growing park in America, but by the 2000s and 2010s, we would see a lot of uncertainty about the park's future. Rooted in a 1970s master plan for Louisville's Kentucky State Fairgrounds, Kentucky Kingdom opened to lukewarm reception in 1987. The park famously went bankrupt after its inaugural season when its small size, it was a mere 16 acres, and limited attractions led to weak attendance. Ed Hart would acquire the park, which was originally actually mostly empty because a lot of those attractions had been taken out of the park because, again, this bankrupt company had never paid those vendors. And he would reopen an expanded version of Kentucky Kingdom in 1990. This version of the park was anchored by a Din Corporation Woody, which remains the park, named Thunder Run. Hart would continue to lead an ambitious expansion of Kentucky Kingdom, which included the world's tallest Shoot the Chutes ride, Mile High Falls, in 1994, America's first Vekoma SLC coaster, T2, in 1995, a 177-foot tall Intamin drop tower named Elevator that same year, and the record-breaking B&M stand-up Chang in 1997. Shifts in loan terms would force Hart to sell the operating rights to Premier Parks in 1997, who would soon acquire the Six Flags brand and rebrand Kentucky Kingdom into Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom for the 1998 season. Six Flags would continue to invest in the park, including the Hart-era planned Twisted Sisters/Twins dueling wooden coasters in 1998, and the relocated Schwarzkopf Shuttle Loop Greased Lightning, which opened in 2003. In 2007, an infamous incident occurred on the renamed Superman Tower of Power Intamin Drop Tower, which resulted in a 13-year-old girl having both feet amputated. The national media frenzy that followed this incident, along with the difficult economic landscape in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, made the park an easy asset for Six Flags to cease operating in 2010 amidst the company's bankruptcy. It's worth noting that none of the operators we're going to be discussing today actually have ever owned the park. The park has always theoretically been owned by the Kentucky State Fair Board. This bankruptcy and Six Flags ceasing of operations led to 3 years of fits and starts towards the park's reopening, with the State Fair Board negotiating with both Ed Hart's Kentucky Kingdom Redevelopment Company and the Holiday World's Koch family. Eventually, the Kentucky Kingdom Redevelopment Company reached an agreement with the State Fair Board, and the park reopened for 2014 with Lightning Run, a Chance Hyper GTX coaster, as a new highlight attraction. Its name a subtle callback to Thunder Run's role in reviving the park in 1990. Other additions soon followed, including a refurbished T2, renamed T3, and the Starflyer Skycatcher for 2015. The RMC reimagining of Twisted Twins as Storm Chaser for 2016, and the Gravity Group Family Woody Kentucky Flyer for 2019. Hart also began the process of expanding the park's operating calendar with Hollow Scream in October of 2019. COVID proved difficult, with the park having to delay its opening, and in 2021, Herschend Family Entertainment was announced as the new operator of Kentucky Kingdom, ushering in the fifth, or fourth, if you want to count Ed Hart as just one and just 2 times, operator in the park's history. Herschend's initial investments in the early 2020s seemed conservative, mostly focused on the park improvements and expanded entertainment options. By 2024, the park season had expanded to include both Fall Pumpkins at Kentucky Kingdom event and the Christmas at Kentucky Kingdom event. With this expanded operating calendar established, it seems like Herschend was ready to begin ambitious expansion of the park's actual attractions. 2025 would see the introduction of Discovery Meadow, an $11 million reimagining of multiple connected areas of the park. Not only did this bring multiple new family attractions, but also new theming, dining, entertainment, and landscaping. In 2026, Herschend chose to follow up this edition with their first new roller coaster since their takeover of the park, the $14 million Vekoma family suspended coaster, Flying Fox. Coaster Kings was invited to attend the coaster's grand opening on May 28th, and we really enjoyed this exciting new addition for the park. Flying Fox is situated in the front half of the park, nestled along a plot that was previously taken up by a drop tower and a backstage space. And this front half of the park, if you've ever been to Kentucky Kingdom, is the initial 16 acres that was the original park. The rest of the park is located across an actively used street, and you access it via bridge or crosswalk. So this is right at the front of the park. You see it right when you drive up. Herschend chose to go with a fully custom layout for this coaster, something we didn't even see in Dollywood's Dragon Flyer, and I think it really pays off here. The layout is integrated beautifully into the existing midways, and while the farmland theming that this coaster has isn't fully complete as of the grand opening, its bright green track and dark green supports look great alongside the electric blue of the nearby Lightning Run. This Vekoma family suspended coaster stands at 65 feet tall, or approximately 20 meters, with a track length of 1,380 feet, or 420 meters, and a top speed of 37 miles per hour, or approximately 60 kilometers per hour. This custom layout is best described as a grapevine, with the track crossing over itself 4 times within its compact layout. Highlights for me include a double up after the initial drop, which gives you 2 snappy little pops of airtime, a snappy overbank turn over one of the midways, and a double down, which dives into an underground tunnel before emerging into the coaster's final turn. Like most of Vekoma's recent projects, polish and comfort are absolutely top of the line here. I really think that Vekoma has proven itself to be the premier coaster manufacturer of our time. The train seems to effortlessly maneuver through these snappy transitions, while the hydraulic lap bar restraints have proven comfortable for both adults and small riders that we talked to. This was my first time returning to the park since Discovery Meadows opening as well, and as much as I enjoyed Flying Fox and I am a coaster enthusiast, this area really got me more excited about Kentucky Kingdom's future. Herschend has always liked to approach its parks with a focus on atmosphere, charm, landscaping, theming, and this new area brings together what was a really deeply disjointed midway into a cohesive and pleasant space. Beyond all the new rides and attractions they brought in, some details that stood out to me were that they chose to deliberately plant native trees and plants native to Kentucky, a shaded area with lots of seating, and cornhole, which again is a very regional thing, but what a great nice thing to have for families to enjoy, and lots of small nods to Kentucky and Louisville throughout the area. While I will be the first to say the rest of the park still has lots of corners that need improvement, lots of pavement that could be replaced with pavers, lots of signage that seems a little faded. Discovery Meadow makes me confident that Herschend is up for the challenge of beautifying this park. It also is worth noting that Kentucky Kingdom, as we've kind of implied here, is located right next to the state fairgrounds, which is lots of concrete and parking, and also directly next to the Louisville airport, which means, again, the runways, the concrete. So this park really gets hot easily because the heat trap from all that concrete. And so the more trees the plant, the more shade they can add, the better this park experience is going to be. With Herschend's recent acquisition of the Palace Entertainment Parks and the quick sale of some of those smaller properties like the Boomers properties, they now operate 11 dry theme parks nationwide. And with the recent split of some of the Enchanted parks, this means that they really are a pretty major player in the regional park game. Six Flags is going to be operating approximately 19, Enchanted Parks around 5. And so I think that really Herschend is going to be a big player here. And I think that they are also going to start to be compared to parks that they weren't compared to before. Dollywood and Silver Dollar City were always kind of exceptions, but now we're going to be compared to Cedar Point, to Holiday World, to Kings Island. And so what better park to prove that they can kind of be masters in this market than Kentucky Kingdom? I think with Kentucky Kingdom, they're proving that they can apply the lessons they've learned in operating their more sophisticated Silver Dollar City style parks and apply them to non-destination theme parks. I think that Discovery Meadow and Flying Fox are really good signs for what we can see at parks like Kennywood, Lake Compounce, and Adventureland. I mean, it took them about 5 years to really ease into building a new coaster. And so I'm just really excited to see what kind of improvements we could see at those parks. And so I will leave that with that positive note. I'm so curious what everyone's thoughts are. Please share your thoughts on any comments, any posts we make about this. I would love to know your thoughts on Flying Fox if you have the chance to get to Louisville. And thank you again so much for listening to this special update. Make sure to check out all the other exciting episodes we have for this launch week. And I look forward to joining you for another episode of Coaster Kings soon.